What's up, guys? It's Manic here, and welcome back. I know I haven't uploaded anything in a while, I'm lazy, but I'm here now. So, here's what we're doing today. So, I have gotten some more games on my pooter. I got some automation here, which if you guys don't know what this is basically a game where you can make your own car, and then you can actually export the car into BeamNG Drive. And I've confirmed I can get both to record with little issues. So, I have a lot of cars on here. I've been playing a lot of this, which realistically wise, I probably should have been recording all the stuff I've been making and whatever, but instead this is just going to have to force me to become a little bit more creative here. So I have no idea what I want to do right now. I'm going into this with absolutely no idea of what I want to do. So the last thing I've been working on as of late was making some drag cars. So this F-150 looking truck right here, if we pull this up, has 6,638 horsepower. And I was making a drag car in Beam with it. That's the torque curve on it. It has lots of stress, which is fine. But yeah, this thing is capable of pulling low sixes on a quarter with this beast right here. This is a quad turbo V16. That is absolutely ridiculous. And very loud. You know, the turbos heat up and everything like that. I don't even know if you heard me. You can see how the turbos heat up like that. Absolutely insane beast here we've got. You can see that these turbos go from two tiny pipes into a giant 8-inch exhaust pipe. So, yeah, this thing's a little ridiculous. It's only 17.5 liters of displacement, but I think I want to make something a little bit different today. I'm not going to go for that kind of power, but I definitely want to make a new car. So let's go ahead and do this. Maybe inspiration will strike while I'm under pressure. So I have a bunch of mods on here. This is the newest update, which is like a alpha or a beta, so some bugs here and there. But I don't know exactly what I want to make. I've been reading a lot about the new Toyota Yaris and Corolla GR with that 3-cylinder engine that makes a lot of power, and part of me kind of wants to replicate that. So I kind of want to find like a real small body and see if I can't make a something similar to that. So we got this thing, the egg, which I think is even smaller than a Corolla here. And, oh, that's actually kind of funny. This is the same body Twin Turbos was using to make his 1.1 liter V16, but we're not going to be talking about other YouTubers. I just watched them. So I want to make something similar, but I'm actually going to make it kind of like a Yaris GR, except it's even smaller. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for the lightest material possible. Basically, we're going to make a race car out of this tiny little thing. And so what I want to do is I'm going to start with carbon fiber, monocoque, carbon fiber. We have a bunch of options for engine placement, funny enough, but we're going to go for a front transverse, because I believe that's what the Yaris GR is like. It's got a front transverse all-wheel drive. I think. Don't quote me on that. And we're gonna go for double wishbone, and I think multi-link in the back should work. Max quality, because we have infinite money. And let's go. So we're gonna make it inline 3. We'll make it out of magnesium. Displacement. If I'm not mistaken, the RSGR is a 1.6 liter, I want to say. So we'll just crank up the stroke a little bit. We'll leave the bore where it's at. We'll get as close as we can. That's good. We're going to go a little ridiculous here. We're going to do dual overhead cam 5 valve. So it'll be a 15 valve, 3-cylinder. Aluminum silicone head material. Okay, so now we're going to go for balance shafts, billet steel crank, titanium connecting rods, and we'll go for lightweight forged pistons. Max quality. Now, we want this thing to be absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what kind of gas I want to run in it though, because that's going to mostly determine what kind of compression ratio I want to go for. We could have it run on fucking methanol if we wanted to. I think we'll start with, I think we'll do what the Yaris GR has. So we'll do 10.5 to 1. We'll leave that stuff alone. Twin variable valve timing, max quality. Turbo. So we're going to go for a smart boost setup. Probably like that big. Will work fine. We'll leave all that other stuff alone for the moment. We don't have dual injection, but we can just do direct injection per cylinder with a race intake. Yeah, that should work fine. Who needs an air filter when you've just got air going directly inside through the front here? And I think we will do, let's go for 100 octane just to start. Fuel mix, we'll go with like 14.5. I'll leave everything else alone. I don't know what I want to do with the rev limiter, but we're gonna go max quality on that. Turbo race, 2.5-inch exhaust. We'll do a high flow cat, and and we'll just go with straight through mufflers. Okay, so we're actually doing pretty good so far. We're at 235 horsepower. Now the RS can do 300 horse at 3,000 supposedly, but I don't think we're gonna get that right now. Oh, max quality. There we go. So that's where we're at now with no turbo tuning at all. So let's go ahead, let's just slap a race on there. So now we're doing 313 at 6,500. Lots of turbo lag here. Let's tune the turbo down as much as we can. The turbine's really hot, it's fine. Go for... Yeah, we can go pretty ridiculous on the compressor here. And basically, you just want to fine-tune this stuff. It can be kind of boring to get this tuned properly. So we're making 275 horse. I'm trying to... fucking turbine. Trying to get this where we have basically no turbo lag, but, you know, if we rev this out good, like, let's try, what can we raise the rev limit to? We got pistons, connecting rods and stuff up to 8,900. So let's do that. Let's go to 8,900. That's an interesting graph. I'll fiddle with that later. Right now we're at 97 octane. So we're gonna run out of octane here, yeah. We're knocking. I want to get more advanced on the timing. Minimal on that. Okay, that's not completely awful. The horsepower bumps up and down a little bit here, which I guess is fine. If we drop the boost a tiny bit, that'll give us a tiny bit more octane. We can play with this a bit more. 330 horsepower. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so we got 272 pound-feet and 330 horse at 8 grand. I think that works fine. We still got a little bit of octane to play with, so maybe dump a little boost. Nope, can't do it. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll adjust that. Just put it at a flat 330. That looks good. And I will just add a tiny bit more timing until it knocks. So we can go for 333 horsepower. We could always dump more fuel in it. I mean, it is a race car. But like, what kind of fuel economy we're looking at? Well, I can't do that until I build the car. So, go for that. Body. We'll go lower quality for less weight. Color, we'll leave it red for now. We'll skip the fixtures and whatnot for the moment. It's going to be a transverse all-wheel drive. Go for a 6-speed manual for this puppy here. It says it can do 188. I'm sure you could do more than that, buddy. But we'll top it out at 200 here. Geared LSDs front back. We'll go with a 50-50 distribution for the time being. Radial tires. Semi-slicks, of course. Max out the size there. We can do 215s. I'd like to go wider than that. Oh, wide body this baby here. How come I get more on the front than the rear? Well, we'll do 295s front and back. That looks ridiculous. I kind of like how the back window looks, though. It makes it look kind of futuristic. So we can kind of have it bubble out, or we can stick it back in. That probably affects our weight and stuff. If we have it stick out, ooh, I can add some flare there, I guess. If we have it stick out, that'll actually change the weight distribution a little bit. I think if we have this go back more, yeah, kind of like that. What can we do down here? Oh, we can really do a wide body. And we'll kind of just add enough to cover that giant intercooler there. There we go. That looks kind of autistic, but you know, we'll go with that. That looks fine. Big bumper in the back. Yeah, this thing looks like a this just looks like one of those golf carts almost. It'll be fine. So 295s, we got 14-inch rims. We can probably go bigger maybe on the tire size. Go with like 20. Oh, that's as big as it goes. Okay. And we'll go with 16-inch rims. Yeah, that looks a little better. We'll do carbon fiber, of course, max quality. Carbon ceramic 6-piston brakes. And 3-piston in the back. Not max size, we'll go with 10. Yeah, that works fine. Pad type, race, quality. Okay, next. So, I'm going for sporty race around the track type of deal here, so we'll put a race diffuser on it. We'll give it brake airflow right at 50. Nothing too ridiculous. We'll have plus 15 quality to help. We don't need back seats. I've never heard of those. Interior, we want light as possible, so we're going to just go basic, no entertainment, and max quality. Power steering, we don't need that. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do variable electric, and we'll give it launch control. Better drivability and comfort if we go up on that. Lower weight if we go down, though. Wow, material cost gets ridiculous there. Not like that matters. That makes me wonder about the weight, though. I think we'll leave that alone. We don't need safety. That's not a requirement at all. And we'll go with minus 15 quality for less weight. Optimize weight lighter. Weight distribution, we'll not touch that yet. Springs, we're going to go for active sport, semi-active. And a race preset. Okay, so it's going to... Yeah, it's slightly oversteery, but that's fine. What's the ride height looking like? Oh my god. This looks like it's ready to go rip up a track, bro. Alright, so I don't know what I want to tune on here, if anything, but we're gonna go max quality. That just gives it more understeer, that's fine. Oh my god, we weigh 1,100 pounds with 333 horsepower. In a 3-cylinder. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I don't know if I want to mess with the weight distribution because it weighs so little, but I don't know how the weight's gonna shift. Like if we change the weight distribution to the back a little bit, okay, that helps with that a little bit, and that gives us 5644. I think it'll be fine. Handling and brakes, brake balance. Yeah, it probably helps to actually tune the brakes. So now that we can actually see that, yeah, brakes are a little ridiculous right now. Do we have brake fade? Doesn't say so. That's good. So we can, so we don't have to mess with the size here. We can just change the brake force. Let's just take rear force and drop it to half. That's still insane. And that to half. We could probably go down on the brake size back here a little bit. I want the brakes to work good. Like a little bit higher than we need to. Minimum size brakes in the back, I guess. That's fine. That's better. I mean, probably not great, but it's better. It says we can do 0 or 62 to 0 in 91 feet. That's pretty good. That takes less than 6 seconds. Actually, that's not that great. But it'll be different in Beam, so I'm not worried about it. We are getting some decent downforce. That's good. With the diffuser and all that. So handling and brakes. Wheel spin, circle test, brake pad type, and brake balance. Assist and steering, though. Okay, so wheel spin, circle test. Circle test has always been weird. I can never get the circle test thing good. Brake pad type is at 9 is 7.8. I think that's the actual, yeah, this. So maybe if we bring it down. Severe brake fade. Then why are you going to tell me that I got to bring down my pad type? Okay, well, I guess we'll bring this down as much as we can until brake fade becomes an issue. Yeah, right there. Brakes suffer from brake fade. What if we go to 100? It's still we got brake fade. I don't know what to tell you. We're not messing with any of that. I'm done with that. Okay, so we have all that together. Minus 15 on handling and brakes, which isn't a good thing. It really does not like the tires at all. I mean, we're doing racing, but I mean, I guess we could throw sports on there. Does it like that better? Better, but it still doesn't like it. Like I said, it's a race car. It doesn't need to... Holy shit, this thing gets 71 miles per gallon? Well, I mean, it is a $1.3 million car the size of a Aston Martin Signet. Okay. Well, that's ridiculous. So we got good downforce here, but that's not a lot. This car weighs nothing. So I don't know if I want to go for ridiculous downforce and bottom the damn thing out or what. Camber settings high. Well, yeah, it's a fucking race car. Okay. I think this is good enough to test it out. I could always go and adjust more of this later, but we weigh literally 1,154 pounds, which is insane. So I'm gonna go ahead and just export. Well, actually, hang on. We can design this now. This is my least favorite part of doing any of this, is designing the car, but I think this one ought to look pretty interesting. Forgive me, my design abilities are kind of garbage, and we're just gonna throw this together quickly because I don't feel like time-lapsing this. So I think we'll go for something super basic here for the headlights. It is a race car after all. Yeah, that's not ugly enough. Let's keep going. We go for something stupid like that. Now let's just try to kind of fill this in with something. Maybe that. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe a little taller. There we go. That looks okay-ish. That's fine. We're gonna throw a spoiler on the front. Doesn't need to look good. It's just there for function. That's a glitch. There we go. There we go. Functional. And we'll go ahead and throw my badge on there. If I can remember where the hell my stuff is. I like to use this little bird here. That is the logo for my company, which is called Dynamic. All my cars are dynamic cars, except for like one. There we go. That's good enough for the front. Rear, let's throw some tail lights on here. That should be fine. What kind of fronts do we got? Yeah, so we'll go for something like this. That should be fine. No, stop. Turn. Stop. I'm trying. I want to move you. Now rotate. Okay. Now bring it up here. Make it a little bigger. Yeah, that works. Okay, and should we put a wing on this? Then we go with some crazy looking wing. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's sexy. Make it bigger. Oh god. Oh god. So I didn't realize that it would go onto the fender flare like that, and that is actually hilarious looking. Now can we make it back a little bit more? Can I see the little nub? Thank you. Well, I can't go back any further. That's okay. That looks ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey! Sorry, my cats are fighting. Let's make this spoiler look a little bit different here. Oh yeah, that looks a little bit better. Make it maybe a tad bit wider. There we go. That doesn't look terrible. This rear wing is atrocious, but I love it. That's absolutely awful, but at the same time, I absolutely love this. Okay, it needs a diffuser in the back, so let's throw a diffuser on it. I think we'll go for something stupid like this. Oh god, what is wrong with this body? There we go. That looks awful. Oh my god. Alright, so we got that going for it. Let's throw an exhaust on here. It's a 3-cylinder, so let's just put 3 cylinders on it. I think we'll go for this style here. Make it a little. Stop. What are you doing? No, that. That totally looks balanced. That's the problem, is none of it looks right at all. Like, how come I can see the... Or wait a minute, I think I can up a layer on it. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Nobody will care. It looks good to me. It's only 2.5-inch exhaust, so that should be perfectly fine. It's probably too big, honestly, if you want to be real about it. Okay, next, let's just throw some other quick stuff on here and get it out on the road. So I've got a bunch of mod fixtures for this. I don't know what kind of ridiculous handles I want to put on the doors here. Yes, these work fine. Yeah, that looks sleek. Yeah, I like that. Alright, let's throw some mirrors on it real quick. The whole car is made of carbon fiber. So, let's go for a carbon fibery tile. Oh god, those are huge. Well, I can adjust that. I'm not worried about it. And then make them small. Oh wait. There we go. Yeah, those look fine. I think those are fine. Okay, and this thing obviously needs a hood scoop, because, yes. We can go for something ridiculous, or we can go for something normal. I'm gonna go ridiculous. Yes, that actually looks really cool. Alright, so we got this thing. We're almost done. We don't need a fuel cap. It is only designed to drive once, and then you're done. I have a bunch of wheels I haven't messed with yet for my mods, so I'm wanting to know what kind of rims I should put on this thing. Like, we can go for some crazy Japanese looking deal here, like those. These are like 80s rotoform looking. Okay, what about Runa's wheel pack? What do we got in here? Oh wow, it actually adds lettering to the tires. Just that one in particular, that's it. Okay. No. What the hell? If that's supposed to be like a white wall, that is ugly. Oh god. I don't even know what the hell that was supposed to be. Yes. That gives me smart car vibes. Yeah, we're gonna go for that. Why not? Was there anything else I wanted to put on here? I want to put a badge on the back, of course. A badge everything front and back. Yes. So we got a badge on the back of it now. Should we give it a sunroof? No, that weighs too much. Now we gotta paint this thing. So all body panels. This thing is stupidly light, so we're gonna make let's just make the whole thing out of carbon. Why not? Oh God. Are you okay? Um, something's not happy here. Oh, okay, it's just the angle that I look at it. Okay, it's just the angle I'm looking at it from. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, make the whole thing... We can do different colors of carbon as well. Like, we could do a red carbon fiber if we wanted to. Or like a lighter looking carbon fiber. Or really dark. Yeah, let's go for like a dark carbon. I like that. And just apply that to everything. Wheels as well. carbon fiber. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna make the whole thing out of carbon. Um, the roof needs to be carbon fiber. What am I missing here? There's a trim slot that has not that. Needs to be carbon. There we go. I think I got all the red off this thing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, there's no more red on this car at all. Now, what I want to do now, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, is back to fixtures here. I want to make the lenses here. I want to make them dark. Or just carbon fiber over them. Yeah, I can make them that. I think we'll go with the dark translucence there. That looks good. We'll do the same thing on the back ones. There, we'll go dark translucent. Yeah. Dude, this thing looks stupid. It looks ridiculous. But I think it will be fine. Okay, now, what do we call this thing? Well, I know it's a dynamic, and don't judge me when I put dynamic as that and the model as the trim. I put my brand every time as the model and then the trim as the... I put the model as my make and my trim as my model. That's what I meant to say. Don't judge me there. It's just for my... Yes. Okay, what do we call this? I think we're gonna call it the... I honestly don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what to call this ridiculous looking car. Just dumb. It looks like a smart car. And I call smart cars dumb cars, and this is definitely fucking dumb. So we'll call it that. I'm just gonna export it as is here and hope that Beam doesn't break. Sometimes I export cars and like random fixtures appear under the car. We're gonna make the fixtures unbreakable in case I whack that wing into stuff too much. The dynamic dumb. That sounds about right. So, we got this stupid car done, so we're gonna see how well it drives in Beam. And so I'll see y'all there in just a moment. Okay, we are here in BeamNG Drive. I don't know why. The carbon fiber looks more greenish on here for some reason, but that's not a problem. So here's the stupid car we just made that looks ridiculous. Ooh, that sounds sexy. And we're in comfort mode. We'll disable all that crap. Holy shit. Okay, that's a little ridiculous. So we're on a map called Motorsports Playground, also a mod, and we cannot do the drag strip timed, but I'm just kind of curious as to how this thing kind of reacts. We'll kind of two-step it here at like 6 grand, I think. This thing's ridiculous. thing weighs like nothing. We're pushing 20 pounds of boost into this little thing. Well, I broke it. Yep, my wheel's gone. The caliper's just kind of hanging out. But yeah, we're gonna do a 0 to 6, or actually, yeah, let's do a 0 to 60 time real quick. .3 seconds. Oh my god. 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, and I killed it. I wonder if we do a second gear launch. Oh, I skipped a gear. Hang on. Alright, let off the gas. I have a 0 to 60 timer right there that I'm trying to... I'm a failure, guys. Oh, Jesus. This thing weighs nothing, so it just, like, it just flops around. 1.7 seconds. Oh my god. This thing is faster than a freaking Tesla Model S Plaid. That's ridiculous. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into the little map screen here. There is a super speedway that I want to try to race on. Okay. I didn't grind the gear, shut up. I didn't tune the arrow at all, so we'll see how this goes. According to automation, it could only do 188 miles an hour. Well, we're doing 196, 197, 198 right now. We're already faster than a NASCAR. We'll turn. Okay, that was scary. So far, this is the most ridiculous, probably one of the most ridiculous cars I've made. That is ridiculous. So, in all honesty, the brakes actually aren't that terrible. Okay, so let's try a different map here. Okay, so we're here at the quarter mile. Let's go ahead and switch into the dynamic dumb. Wherever the hell I put it. There it is. I wonder if it looks green here too. It does. I don't know why it looks green like that. But, no big deal. Practice, so we don't have to go against anybody yet. Let's just see what this thing will put down. Because of what I've discovered on the other map, it is best to launch in second gear for timing reasons. .3. We can do better than that, I think. And as you can tell, 6.094 is the fastest I've ever done. That was with that drag F-150 I was talking about earlier. Oh, I killed it. 9.39. So yeah, pretty consistent then. At 146 miles an hour. This thing is ridiculous. So let's go back in here. Let's make it not practice. Opponent vehicle. Let's make it a real drag car here. Let's do the Gavril Barstow drag car. Yeah, let's just do the stock beam drag car here and see what this thing can do. What can you put down, sir? Oh, wow. We didn't win by a whole lot, but we won by, it's like 0.6 of a second. That's pretty good. Let's retry with a different car. What else do we got here that might be actually a challenge? Actually, I have a mod on here. The CJD. Let's try the CJD version. Ooh, that thing sounds mean. Go! Wow, that was actually worse. And my time was worse because I shifted early there. That is ridiculous. Alright. Alright, well there's one last thing I want to, or there's a couple other things I want to do. But let's go to the automation test track here. I want to see what we can do on a actual track with this thing. If it'll just spin out or if it's actually decent. Oh, wrong button. So let's go into here, get our little stupid car out. Okay. And let's see what we can do. I'm gonna practice. Actually, screw it. Let's just see what we can do with no practice. I will do one lap. Play. Okay. Let's see what we can do one lap. Already doing terrible so far. Jesus, this thing's ridiculous. Oh, slow down, you pile of garbage. Go, 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 go. This thing is insane. With a 1.6 inline 3. I always screw up this corner here, so go nice and slow. We just went up on 2 wheels, that's fine. Overshot. Shit. Turn, camera. Some tuning may be required. I'll tell you what though, this thing is ridiculous. That's actually my best time? What? Okay. That is stupid. Now, to give you guys an idea of how stupid some of the cars I make are, let me pull up a car that's even stupider than this that I made before. And that is this thing. So, I think the regular one was a little worse because it's actually a real manual. So this thing only weighs a tiny bit more, I think. It's like 1,100 pounds with 700 horsepower. And that makes this thing even more ridiculous. So we'll go ahead and do one lap with this thing just to show you what I'm talking about, how ridiculous. This thing's ridiculous. It's got over 700 horsepower with such little weight. The fattest tires I could put on it. Oh my god. I haven't driven this in a while, as you can tell. It revs up to 9,700. Oh my god. Jesus. I forgot how ridiculous this thing is. And I'm playing with a controller. I really need to get a wheel. Maybe I'll be better at this. Just hitting the brakes, I bottom out. Ah! Cat, go away. What are you doing? Are you fucking kidding me? This is the stupid shit I deal with. Well, let's see if I can recover my time now. The cat just jumped on my computer. Started walking all over my mouse pad and shit. Slow down. Yeah, we're done. Okay. Let's abandon that, because I have another idea of what we need to do with our little dumb car. And that is something called the Car Jump Arena. Yeah, we're gonna go to Jump Arena and see what we can do with this baby here. Okay. See what we can do with this thing. Considering it weighs like nothing. I swear to God, cat, screw off. I have 3 cats and a dog, and they are ridiculous. So I guess we'll see how fast this thing is now. It can fly. Well, we went straight over everything. Wow. That is ridiculous. Let's do that one more time. Actually, let's do something I've never seen done, personally. Cat, screw off! Jesus Christ! There's a lizard on my window and the cats have been trying to get it. Yeah, let's go down this backwards and see what happens. Not very significant. See them big old Brembo 6-piston in the front. Alright, well that's it for this car, man. It's ridiculous, it's hard to drive. With some more tuning, it could probably be better on the track. But, other than that, that's all I have for that. Before we end this off, I kind of just want to get into another map here and just kind of show off some of the stupid vehicles I've made. Let's go to the Autobahn here. And we're going to show off exactly what I've been doing for the past few months. So, I have a lot of vehicles here, so once we scroll down, of course we got the Drag F-150s. I have this one's a 10.8 liter twin turbo V8. Same V8 in this Mustang. This one is a 16.3 liter V12. That one's a 17.5 liter V16. I made my own idea of what a new Ford Excursion would be like. We're going to ignore that one. This one's a 9.9 liter V8 as well, I think. These Beamers here are like BMW clones of like an old E30 or whatever the hell it is. This thing is the most unreliable thing I've ever made. This is a replica of my 80s Nissan that I drive around. This thing doesn't work. I try to spawn it and it breaks the game. Couple other little things. That was like a Hudson Hornet type thing. That thing is not tuned well at all, and I gave up on it. This off-road special is pretty cool. D50 SS just sounds really nice. Drives pretty well. Little eco diesel thing. And for diesels that I've made, they're basically just automation engines that I just gave a really high compression run dev meth fuel with a turbo, and then just gave a really low red line and a low cam profile, so it sounds diesel-y. The Satan 12 here is supposed to be kind of like the Devil 16. That was before I bought the V16 pack. This thing also breaks. Trying to see. Oh yeah, this is called a 393 stroker. That's 393 cc's. Alright, Milo, since you want to bother everybody, say hi. This is my cat. This is Milo. He's a big pain in my ass. Go away. I love you, but fuck off. Where was I? IM speed doesn't work. That's a replica of my old Ranger before it got broke. It's a kind of a replica of my wife's car. That LMP doesn't work. This thing doesn't work. This was my attempt at making a replica of a 911 GTR. This is an interesting little car here. So this is a project. This is a 1.1 liter V16, kind of like what I was talking about earlier. It revs to 12 grand. I didn't put any fixtures of any kind on this car because it's a project. It's pretty fast. Like I said, we're on the Autobahn right now. pretty fast, I'd say. Alright, let's blow up the engine. Blew it up. Alright. So, cars that are just fun to drive in a straight line is what I have for the most part. What else do I have here? This is a little 2.4 liter. It only makes like 200 something horsepower. Or that one makes 300. But this one only makes 200 something. It can still do 180 something miles an hour somehow. Let's see. No, let me show off this. This is one of my early builds that I really like. This one's actually a pretty interesting vehicle. It's got a 3-valve V8. I think it's a 5. It might be a 5 liter, might be a 5.1 or something. Actually, no, it's a 5.3. It's kind of like a 350 essentially. It's geared very nicely. Not too stupidly fast. It's a very well balanced pickup truck. Not insanely fast, but in my opinion, this thing actually rides really well on a track. I've taken this out on Nürburgring. It's one of the easiest to drive cars because it has ABS. I love the rims on this thing too. Let's try the V12 F-150 here. This one also did low 60s. Absolutely ridiculous vehicle here. Absolutely insane vehicle. Let's get the V16 out and see how fast it'll go. It's so loud. See, this thing's not nearly as loud for some reason. This one's a 5-speed. There's just too much power for its own good. And I deflated all the tires. Not designed for top speed, clearly. I've made all sorts of stupid cars in this game. This thing's also pretty ridiculous. This is a twin-turbo V6 that makes like 700 horsepower or something. Lots of downforce, but it's so oversteery. I really need to have a wheel to drive this thing properly. So far we're doing 270 miles an hour. The tires stretch out as you drive, so the speed on the gauge at the bottom corner there versus the airspeed in that little meter up there. You want to go by the airspeed. So we're doing 281, 83, This is the type of car that'll get you from one end of the Autobahn to the other pretty quickly. That's about it. Well, this video has already gone on way too long. So, I'm gonna end it off right here. For people who expect regular content from me, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of, I work a lot, and as a result, a lot of my time on my days off, I don't even feel like hooking up my headset to do anything. I'll just open up my game and start playing, and I don't even want to end up having to like edit all that crap after the fact. But hell, I don't even want to move this black thing behind me half the time. But I will try to make an effort. At least one day a week, I record something, and even if it takes me 2 weeks to get the thing up, I'm gonna try my best. But hope you guys appreciated everything for today. Hopefully this was kind of fun to watch. If you want to see more content like this, BeamNG and automation. If you want to give me some ideas of some cars I should build, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one.